I thought I'd make a little video of kind of what to expect with Dash every day, what things I think you should really prioritize working on if you do adopt him. Hopefully you can hear me with people mowing the grass in the back. Just some things that I think you'll need to work on to not see certain things that, you know, they're not problems now either, but if you don't nurture the right things and you don't stop certain things right now, it will get worse. And he's gonna be a big dog, so those are just gonna be problem behaviors in the future. I'll just let you know kind of what our day has been like, or what our days have been like. So typically he will wake up anywhere between, the earliest he's gotten up is like 6 a.m. and today he was able to stay in his crate until 7:30 a.m. So there is kind of a window there, but it also depends on what time you're taking him to bed at night. I took him out for his last bathroom break last night at 10:15, something like that, and he was able to hold it until 7:30 this morning. Now he was quite desperate this morning, so he did pee a lot once we got outside, but he is starting to learn how to hold it, so that's good. When we go out, I put his in the crate. Let me start from the start. In the morning when I take him out of his crate, he is very excited to see me, and I'm excited to see him, of course. But when I go to open the door, I don't just let him barge out. I hold the door, I unlock the latches, and then I'll hold the door. I'll try to get a video of this now too, now that he's a little older. Because a couple weeks ago, he was very young. I didn't want to risk him having an accident, so I would just take him out right away. But now he's getting older. He is able to wait a moment before coming out of the crate. So I unlatch the door, hold my hand on the door until he sits back. Then I'll open the door, and I want him to still wait until he gets my okay. It's literally the word okay has been his, what you'd call a release cue or a release command. And it just means, okay, now you can do what you want to do. In this case, come out of the kennel. So I give him his release command. Once he's nice and waiting, he'll come out. He's very excited. He always wants to just get a couple scratches and snuggle a little bit before actually going. And in that time, I make sure to clip his leash on so that I have some control, because he likes to take off. And, you know, that can be fun. But if he's got something he's not supposed to have, I want to be able to take control quickly. And so I always have a leash on him. At home, that usually means just a short 6-foot tiny little leash that I can just let him drag around. But anywhere else, I'm actually using a 10-foot leash, because it's a little easier for him to not pull on the leash and to kind of explore his environment on a little bit more length, and I can always take up the leash if I don't want him to have that much distance. So put the leash on after he gets out of the crate. Then I take him outside immediately. We just go straight to the door. I'm not even really asking for too much patience at the door right now. I'm just opening the door and taking him out there. And first thing he does is go pee every morning. And I'm actually teaching him to go on command, which right now is not on command. But as an adult, if you need him to go to the bathroom quickly, by doing what I'm doing now during his potties, you will be able to tell him to go potty, and he will go faster than if you just had to wait him out as an adult. So what I do is he starts tinkling, and then I go potty, potty, potty over and over again until he finishes peeing, and then I stop saying it, and that's gonna make him associate that word with going to the bathroom. Potty, 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 potty. Good boy. That was so good. That was so good. So pretty simple, but I do that every time he goes number one. And number two, just while he's going, I'll say the word over and over again, and then I stop when he stops. Once he stops going bathroom, I will definitely praise him. But one of Dash's, I wouldn't even call it a problem, it's just one of his areas to work on, is that when you start petting him, sometimes he gets a little wound up pretty quickly. and that can get him kind of nibbly. So I don't want to teach him to keep biting on hands, so then I just stop petting him. If he keeps winding up and he keeps trying to bite at me even once I've pulled my hands away, I will actually grab his collar and tell him to settle down. Hey, don't go back there. I don't know what's back there. He's very distractible also, just like me. But that's another reason why I have this leash on. Oh, dude, look, you stepped in so many foxtails. My God, wait. Okay, pause video, continue. Okay, I had to get some foxtails out of him, but he settled right back down. So where was I? We've done potty in the morning. So in the morning, I know a lot of people have busy schedules in the morning usually. So again, 7:30 is pretty much the latest you'll be able to take him out bathroom, take him potty. If you have a really busy schedule and you have to put him back in the crate after he goes potty in the morning, you can, but I don't recommend leaving him in there for more than tops 2 hours, just because he has a lot of energy in the morning, and that's not very fair. So in the morning, what I've been doing is I'll take him bathroom just so that he doesn't have any accidents. I'll bring him inside and let him hang out with me in the kitchen while I make my coffee. Dude, oh my. Okay, so as you can tell, lots of little things that he does. You can't just kind of leave him do his thing because he gets very easily distracted and then gets himself into trouble. Usually it's nothing like crazy bad, but he'll chase my cats. He'll take off with socks. He could start chewing on things he shouldn't chew on. So right now, until he learns all those rules, he is 100% supervised when he's not in his crate, which sounds like a lot of work, and it kind of is, but that's why the crate is so important, because even if you just need to go pee real quick and you don't want to watch him and you don't want to have to bring him with you to go pee, just pop him in the crate for those 5 minutes that it's going to take you, and you're not only making your life easier by not having to watch the puppy the whole time, but you're also teaching him that the crate isn't always just for when we go to sleep and I'm gone for hours, or when I go to work and I'm gone for hours. So it's showing him like sometimes it's just a quick hangout spot. You can just relax in here. So I highly recommend using the crate all the time. So what was I saying? Our routine. I make coffee in the morning while he's waiting with me with his leash on. So that typically means I have to step on his leash and give him a couple feet, but I don't want him just running circles around the house. So I'll have to step on his leash for him to stick around. I'll make my coffee, and then we hop in the car to come out to this parking lot, because currently he doesn't have all his vaccines yet, so we can't actually go to parks or anything where there's a lot of grass, and especially not where there's a lot of dog traffic, like a lot of dogs walking or peeing on that area basically. But we just come to this parking lot because there's lots of room and there's no distractions for him, except for literally every blade of grass, every bird. He is so distractible. He'll get better at that with practice. That's the thing. You can't just wait for him to get older. You have to actually help him practice to have some impulse control and focus a little bit. But that will get better if you practice. So we drive out here, we do a little bit of fetch, not more than like probably 10-15 minutes, because I don't want to build his stamina a bunch. He has a lot of energy that we do need to get out of him, but we also don't want to build that amount of energy over time. Just like athletes do more for longer and harder to get their endurance up, and we don't want that for our dogs. So I do a little bit of fetch just to get some energy out. I'll play a little bit of tug, and I will actually combine a little bit of obedience into those games. So he has to drop the toy every now and then, which teaches him impulse control. And then I'll ask him for, sometimes dropping the toy because he's so young is enough for me to release the toy again. Like his reward for dropping is, don't get my coffee, no sir. His reward for dropping is getting the toy again. Other times I ask him to drop it, and then I ask him to sit, and then we practice a little bit of sit stay, 10 seconds of sit stay. Maybe I'm moving around. And then I release him to get his toy. Those are just things that you can start incorporating to teach him that first play isn't just go crazy buck wild the whole time and never come back down, because dogs get really neurotic like that. And it also teaches him listening to me is fun, because you get rewarded for it. I know, it's kind of boring right now, huh? All right, Dash. Sit. Yes. Oh, I hope I angled the camera right for that. Good. Ready? Find it. All right, so he's got, I'll find it right now. Okay, so practice that with his play. I'd say about 30 minutes total. So I'll switch after I play a little bit of fetch. I'll switch to tug, just so he's not running around so much. He's still letting out energy though, and we're still having fun. It's just slightly less up there in energy, I guess. Then once we're done with play, we'll do kind of this where we're sitting, but actually I don't want to be sitting here in a parking lot doing this. I actually, the other day I went to the hospital. I've gone down to town center. You could go to your local coffee shop, and just sit back and people watch with him. So it's going to be very important for him to learn to people watch and learn what just regular people look like, so he doesn't become suspicious of certain people. Especially some dogs can get suspicious of, like, if someone has a limp, it looks a little different. My dog is suspicious of kids because they're a little weird looking. And I could have probably done a better job at socializing her when she was this age. So taking him out to just people watch for 20 minutes or something like that. Take some food, some of his breakfast with you, so that you can reward him for good choices. That would be things like watching someone, perking up and noticing them, and then checking back in with you, or laying down. Those are all good choices instead of going off and going to see that person. It's great to have a friendly dog, but it's not appropriate for him to learn how to just go up to everyone he sees. Because then when we take him on a walk and we don't want him to go up to everyone he sees, he's going to be on a leash, and that's going to hold him back from this expectation of, I get to go meet people every time I see them. And then that frustration actually causes reactivity in most dogs. So those are things to think about that you don't want to accidentally encourage. Be selective about how many people he gets to meet. I'd say at least 80% of people he sees, he should not get to meet. Of course, you also want him to meet people every now and then so that he stays social. But most of that, in my opinion, is very much based on genetics. So he's either going to like people or he's not. Regardless of if he meets a lot of people as a puppy. It's more important for him to just observe people walking by and doing regular day stuff. So we're about to go do that, and I'll probably try to take some video of that too. But that's pretty much our morning routine. It takes about an hour. If I have a little bit extra time, we might play a little more and do a little bit of a formal training session. So then we end up being 2 hours tops, something like that, between his potty break, between, taking him to play, getting back home, doing some people watching, and letting him finish his food. It's maybe 2 hours. And then he's good for the crate for, I'd say, even like 5 hours right now. If you work 8 hours, I still would have someone come to your house and let him out for a potty break. But he can stay in the crate for a pretty long time. And of course, once you're back from work, make sure to take him out potty and kind of do the same thing again. Play a little bit, do a little bit of training, get him his food. And then in the evening, because obviously this is the start of the day right now, but in the evening, I will do more calm activities, trying to teach him how to just hang out while we're watching TV, for example. And I'll do that with a frozen treat or something, so it lasts a little longer. And I'll put him on the dog bed with a leash on, and either tie him back or put my foot on the leash so he can't move around. Because again, he is very distractible. He has gotten up like 10 times since I started this video. And he has a really hard time just kind of relaxing in the same spot for a long time. His crate helps him do that a lot, so he does spend a lot of time in his crate with me. But the leash on the dog bed can do it too with a treat. So we've been doing that a little bit. I'll get these moments where he can relax, and I'll totally take advantage of them. But then once he starts nibbling on me again, I have to let him know that that's not appropriate and that he needs to calm back down. This is very good. You're pretty calm right now. So he is definitely a high energy dog. He needs at least probably close to an hour of like solid play. It can be broken up in the day, but as an adult, he'll probably need at least an hour of solid play with like a walk in there too. I can't walk him yet, so because he's just too young for that. Hey, don't do that. No. Good. Yeah, those are the main things you need to know about Dash. He's gonna need to work on his impulse control. He's a little bossy. Like he really tries to see if he can be in charge of interactions in terms of like, I want to go out of my crate. I'm gonna try to be as annoying as possible to see if you break and let me out. You know, it's very normal because puppies want to get their way, and they haven't learned yet that you can't always have your way. I mean, that's the same for everyone. It sucks, but you got to learn to cope with not getting your way every time. And he's kind of learning to do that. And I help him out by putting chew bones in his crate so he can self-soothe on those if he needs to. By, if he does settle down, even for a few moments, I'll tell him good boy and maybe drop some food in the bottom of the crate so he can eat that and again, self-soothe a little bit. We want him to learn how to self-soothe. We don't want him to just shut down and be like, well, life sucks and I don't want to do anything anymore. That's not the point. It's more like, dude, you got to learn how to calm yourself down. And dogs do that through sniffing, through licking, through chewing. So I give him outlets for that in his crate. Same as on the dog bed. If he's out on the dog bed instead of in his crate, I give him the same kind of options to self-soothe. I know, we're gonna go people watch in a minute and it'll be way more fun. Right now he's getting a little restless because this is boring. We're not doing anything. But at the same time, he also needs to learn how to do boring things because sometimes life is boring. We're not always playing. And that is one of the biggest struggles he has. Actually, I'll mention that real quick. That's one of the biggest struggles he's got with my dog is just hanging out with her near. He wants to play 24/7, which is a puppy thing, but we don't want to nurture that behavior so that it becomes his adult personality also, because that becomes very obnoxious. And if you already have a dog and you're adding him to your family, your dog is gonna not like this puppy. Because adult dogs, sure, a lot of them do like to play and it's fun and whatever, but most adult dogs also want... Knock it up, I'm trying to talk to the camera. Good boy. He wants to go on the grass and he can't. So I'm teaching him this boundary and it's really hard for him. So he's complaining. And it's hard because I don't like puppy screaming. It makes me feel bad. So, you know, it kind of sucks to have to still put that hard line there for him and just kind of have to deal with the puppy whining. But the thing is, if you give in to the puppy whining, he learns that that's how he gets what he wants, and it gets worse. So don't give into it. Try to distract him. If anything, if it keeps winding up, distract him. So I just poked him in the side to get his attention, and that helped him literally stop fixating on whatever it was that was stressing him out. And now he's laying down. Good boy. We're about to go. Let me finish talking. I talk too much. So yeah, give your adult dog time and space away from him. Again, put him in the crate, put your grown dog away if you're doing some training with Dash, and slowly introduce them together, because he will drive an adult dog up the wall. And your adult dog probably will have to correct him at some point just to let him know the boundary, but I try to avoid that as much as possible because that's stressful for the adult dog too. Not all adult dogs know how to appropriately correct a puppy this age. So just things to consider. You have to be in control of when does he get things, when it sounds so controlling, but it's more right now while he's young and learning. And later on, you can loosen these things up for sure once he understands the rules. It's just that right now he doesn't understand the rules. So if we don't make them quite black and white for him, he's going to try to find that gray zone and take you give him an inch and he takes a mile. So I think that's it for now. Yeah, if you take Dash, these are definitely things to think about.